If you missed this one on 2 News, that was a little bit earlier this morning, never fear, we've got the story again. Coke lovers in Dayton are in good luck. Wilson Park Pool in Carrollton struck up a deal with Coca-Cola to serve Coke for the next 3 years in return for $1,000 to the park every
Pretty nice trade-off.
For 3 years, $1,000 for every year. And there was also some cosmetic upgrades that were courtesy of Coca-Cola. Thank you very much. They put new umbrellas with the iconic Coke label on them.
Right.
And it doesn't stop there. Even there's more to the story. The city of Dayton also got over $100,000 from Coca-Cola in exchange for Coke products being used in our public places, which is, I think, a very good trade.
I think it's very nice. Now, are you one of the people who does the Pepsi versus Coke thing? Do you care about the difference?
Well, I don't really drink soda.
Yeah, I'm not a big soda drinker either. But
if I were to drink, I mean, I do every now and then. We'll have like a Coke, I guess.
Okay, so it's a Coke.
Yeah, if I'm eating something specific, or if it's hot outside, which is why this is great because you can drink it at the pool now.
Right, right.
I would probably reach for a Coke.
Okay, for a Coke. I'll reach for whatever. I'm not picky at all. Now, moving on, did the Obama administration grant Hollywood access to information about the killing of Osama bin Laden that was held from the public?
As Brian Todd shows us, the question is stirring new backlash in Washington after the release of some information. Take a look.
It's just weeks after the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. 2 Hollywood filmmakers are in Washington to get details on the operation for their upcoming movie. According to a newly released document, a meeting between the filmmakers and top Pentagon officials brings promises of great access that critics now say could compromise national security. A transcript of the meeting last July quotes Michael Vickers, Undersecretary of Defense, talking to Oscar-winning director Kathryn Bigelow and a screenwriter. They can't speak to the top commanders of the raid, Vickers tells them, but they'll make a guy available who was involved from the beginning as a planner, a SEAL Team 6 operator and commander. Right below that, the name of the Special Ops planner is mentioned, but is redacted in the documents. The screenwriter's response? That's dynamite.
And he can basically give you everything you would want or get from Admiral McRaven.
Tom Fitton heads the conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch. They filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit demanding the transcript of that Pentagon meeting and other documents. Fitton says that promise from Vickers wasn't all the filmmakers got.
This access is unusual. They were given access to the vault at the CIA, which is their equivalent of the Situation Room.
Other conservatives are outraged. Republican Congressman Peter King, chair of the House Homeland Security Committee, calls it a potentially dangerous collaboration between the filmmakers, the CIA, the Pentagon, and the White House.
This is too sensitive for the average person to even know about. Did Kathryn Bigelow have a security clearance? Was she cleared to go in there?
A Pentagon spokesman tells CNN the filmmakers got no access to classified information from the Defense Department on the bin Laden raid. White House officials have said they didn't give Bigelow and the screenwriter any information on the operation that journalists didn't get.
We provided the same information to everybody, and none of it was classified.
The CIA says national security is always paramount whenever it engages with Hollywood, and the vault in question was empty at the time of the filmmakers' visit. CNN national security contributor Fran Townsend says it's always difficult balancing security with the pull from Hollywood and journalists.
It's not just the American citizens who you're trying to be transparent with and share information with, but your enemies are also watching.
We contacted representatives for director Kathryn Bigelow and the screenwriter. They wouldn't comment on the specifics of what they got from officials in Washington. But a spokesman for Sony said the film is about the decade-long pursuit of bin Laden, that it's been in the making for several years, and that it integrates the efforts of the Obama, Bush, and Clinton administrations. It's not clear if the filmmakers ever met with that special ops planner. Brian Todd, CNN, the Pentagon.
Tricky, touchy. But, you know, it makes you wonder if we should be getting all of this information, or a lot of people think, you know, these kinds of things, we don't need to know them. That is for the CIA and special intelligence services to know those things.
I think it's definitely a slippery slope, but if what they're saying is true, then they weren't giving any more information than they gave to journalists and everyone else. So, I mean, until we know for sure, there's only speculation that can be had.
That's true. But in the end, in the interim, it's all very interesting what we're learning, and so we can educate ourselves and go check out.
And I have a feeling this is going to have a lot of people tuning into this film once it finally comes out.
Yes,
so, if anything, it's giving good buzz to that.
By the way, I would just like to say, Jamie, I apologize. I didn't mean to call you Zuri. I have a cold and I'm loopy. Zuri goes, you called her Zuri.
No
Sorry,
big deal.
Jamie.
Stick around. We're going to get Natalie together.